There's a hilarious scene in the movie where you suspect that you're pregnant and you go to Foodland on the North Shore to buy a pregnancy test. Anyone who's ever been to that Foodland knows that it's nearly impossible to get in and out of there without running into someone you know. You feel like you almost have made it and you're at the checkout counter and it turns into this almost like a John Hughes movie situation where the person at the checkout counter goes over the intercom, can I get a price check on a pregnancy test? Like, did that actually happen to you? I mean, that's like too classic to actually
No,
be true.
I swear to God, it happened. Like, I think what you have to understand in my life, I almost like feel like I manifest those things in my head because I kind of feel like I'm predicting them to happen. It's like I have this strange way of like seeing things happen before they do, and because of the circumstance, it's almost like I willed it to happen because I was so worried about it. And I remember being there, and gosh, what a scary time because obviously you're like you're kicking yourself in a lot of ways, but also just terrified. And I'm competing at Sunset Beach, and it's probably 10, 12 feet. And here I am, and I remember just like, just, I don't know, it's scary just to even think that you're going to buy one of those things. You're 22 years old
Yeah.
in Hawaii. And yeah, Foodland's crazy. Like you walk in there and you're just like, hey, what's going on? Da, da, da. I see like a million people in there. I remember grabbing like I don't know if it was a magazine or something to lay on top of it when it was laying on the thing as it goes through. And the lady for sure just like grabs the thing and I'm just going, oh no, no, not L. Like someone's gonna be walking right in or just, I couldn't even believe it. It was the craziest thing I ever had dealt with. At that time, I was just like, this is not happening to me.
So it turns out that you were pregnant. And the fascinating thing for me about watching that scene in the movie is that you were so much more concerned with the impact that being pregnant would have on your ability to stay on tour and your ability to perform, rather than the fact that you were pregnant with the baby of the head coach. I'm sorry, pregnant with the baby of the head judge while you are on tour. And, at face value, that just seems like an indisputable conflict of interest. But it didn't really seem like it was at the time. I mean, does that speak to the change in how we view privacy in an age of social media? I mean, because the internet would go berserk if that happened today. I mean, was it really not an issue back then?
Would I be like a lot more well off financially if that happened? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just think that, yeah, you're right. Like, I forget that we didn't have that kind of stuff. I mean, we were still picking up phones and dialing numbers. So, oh, geez.
I mean, but it
Yeah,
was an open secret, right? I mean, people did know within the
yes.
community and within the athletes knew.
Yeah.
Did they have a problem
Yeah.
with it?
Surfing at that time was not obviously a huge, it was a governing body of sport, but it wasn't as big as it is now, obviously. And so Renato was the head judge at that time, and what he did was basically they hired a head judge for the girls' tour or girls' heats. And so whenever there was women's heats, he would just leave the contest area, like the entire, like leave for like a couple hours and come back. And so that's how they fixed that because there was a lot of like calls where like, oh, this happened and that, and it's because he's the head judge. I mean, that always would happen. And, I'd surf my butt off and still there'd be controversy. But, um, that was fair. I mean, would I have done the same thing? Maybe if it was someone else, like you did. I mean, that's just what it looked like. You had to
Yeah.
give the
Was there
benefit of the doubt.
conflict with your fellow competitors and the other surfers because of that?
Yeah, I mean, there'd be calls where, someone got a score and they'd be, oh, well, they would blame it on Renato, but Renato wasn't even there. You know what I mean? Like I said, he would be leaving the area. And it was definitely an uncomfortable situation. I didn't want to be in that situation. I was in that situation. I later find out that I don't want to be in this situation. So a couple obstacles in my life at that point I had to work through. But yeah, at that time it was difficult. It was scandalous. It was like crazy. And if there was social media, it would have it would have broke the internet, I'm sure.